Is your happiness priority or an afterthought? If you ever felt guilty for putting yourself first and enjoying your own company, put in the comment section me. I would love to see it if you're brave enough to admit it. And I'm raising my hand and admitting as well that there were multiple times where I felt guilty for putting myself first. Actually, for years, it felt that I got to actually be available for everyone in order to make myself happy. That was the belief that were uh, instilled for most likely generation and from raising up, that I got to be of service, and in order to be of service to others is to keep putting myself for the benefits of the others, and not really that self happiness is selfish, and I just keep have to giving and not really allowing the receiving part because it will be selfish, and keep running after the years and making that availability of myself for my brother, for my parents, for when I started my family, for my husband, for my daughter, for other family members, extended family members, friends, clients as well, and it started taking a toll after all those years of running on those beliefs and strengthening myself. I thought that that's the way is to strengthen, to keep moving forward, to keep pushing forward and overcoming the challenges, dusting myself off the ground and keep moving in that self-sacrifice route, which became not easier but becoming harder for me to endure, and start realizing that I'm missing out on something here, on a deeper lessons, and I keep reliving things for so long, because most likely I'm not extracting what I get to extract. And the key of the teaching of those experiences, because that's kind of the nature of the experiences. We either keep reliving those experiences, or we finally braving up to become more aware and conscious of what those experiences are for, what they're trying to teach us, what lessons we can extract from them, so we are moving more consciously forward and transforming our experiences and creating more of that happiness and satisfaction. And I finally start recognizing that's that was the case, that I was keep unconsciously living in that self-sacrifice in order to be happy. And it was more challenging, because it seems like, well, I was in so ready to admit that I was self-sacrificing, because I didn't feel so much wrong. I was more like focusing why I'm not experiencing my happiness. And I thought that the only way to bring more of that own happiness is to push myself forward, to serve more people. And you probably heard it. You probably felt that guilt, like I asked at the beginning of that live stream, that kind of were stopping you from experience your own happiness and not making yourself priority. And like I said, well, you, instead of putting a more focus like why I keep sacrificing, I'm like, why I don't have the happiness, or why I don't, why that happiness is so fleeting, so maybe it's not worth pursuing it. I just have to kind of remain in that self-sacrifice circles, and keep pushing myself to be of service. And on occasion I can just kind of operate, can get a gist of maybe one smile here or there from somebody, and have to kind of settle for that smile and not experience a deeper sense of happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment that can only come from within. It will not come when you keep exploring that outside. It only come when you tune in back to you and start experience that within, and can then share with the world. So it brings me to with sharing a little bit how I started waking up to the possibility that it's not the happiness problem but the self-sacrifice problem, and how to go about it, how to start demystifying that myth of and seeing even a paradox in the whole experience, that like, okay, the pushing is to that it's necessary to do that self-sacrifice, and that it's selfish if I'm not doing that. However, honestly, it got to the point that when I'm actually doing that, keep constant self-sacrifice, and keep attempting to believe that it will be selfish if I stop, it becomes a paradox, because eventually my body, my mind, my heart was hurt, and I was ready to stop. I couldn't move any longer, even when I felt like I'm strengthening myself and become more intensified. And then at that point, to become more aware and awaken that it's the self-sacrifice is the issue and not the happiness. It start opening that paradox that I'm actually doing more selfish act when I'm forgetting myself in my life, and keep self-sacrifice myself for the others, because eventually I unable to do anything, and maybe even need to ask for some support to be able to bring myself back together after all that pressure, after all that stress that can take a toll on our mental capacity, our body capacity, our heart capacity, that we ready to give up and not doing anything for ourselves or for anybody else. So that's kind of that paradox that we get to kind of create more awareness about it, that when instead of pushing so much ourselves in that self-sacrifice, that having that understanding that if we push ourselves too far in that self-sacrifice, it will be even more selfish and not serving anybody, including ourselves, and even has to be a reliance on the others. So that's that paradox, creating that awareness to put to put that real awareness of what we experience through those experiences, what the lessons we can experience, and how we can bring more of that happiness. So when we recognize that we actually, it's our own job to create that happiness, that it's our job to recognize where we pushing ourselves with that self-sacrifice, with the chase for the happiness, but standing more in the happiness before we putting some sacrifice to be of service to others. There will be always that sacrifice, however, including ourselves in the equation, knowing, standing more in our true power and using our voice when we felt that it's not serving us, not serving anybody, if we're pushing ourselves to over the limit in exhaustion, and cannot operate consciously and with ease, because our body, our mind is so drained, our body is so drained, our heart is closing off, because it's so much stress and pressure that we're putting on ourselves. So we get to create, and the boundaries, I'm hearing a lot, we're going through a lot, we get to kind of pay more attention to create more of that safe space, to regulate our nervous system, to actually be more conscious, to what numbers we are doing on ourselves in order to get to some happiness. However, or to boundary creating, and you can actually start creating so much boundaries that they will become a very tall walls that you won't even see how tall those walls in that protective environment you can put for yourself, that it will be even harder to break down those walls in the fear that you will end up in the self-sacrifice and do the number on yourself, and you don't want to go there anymore. So the solution and the cure for that is creating more of that awareness, and making a more discernment by standing in your power and using your voice, and making more of that inner discernment at what point is okay for you to sacrifice your time, your energy, your power, not to really give away the power, but serving from that power. And when you start feeling that that power is being depleted, it start leaking, that you will take conscious choices and conscious steps and actions to recharge yourself, to return back to you, to your own inner self, to charge up, to come out again, and to serve out as that role model and example for others, and shining your light brightly, and not keep dimming that because you allowing that light to be leaking, you allowing that light to shine on other people, and you start lessening that light. It's something that gets to be renewed, and you in control by standing in your power to keep renewing that light within, that power within, that you can be of service, through service to others, without that personal suffering. Without that self-sacrifice, self-abandoning, to have some happiness. And you can have both. You can actually have the happiness and find that harmony with making some sacrifice, with making some efforts, not treating the self-sacrifice as self-abandonment, but sacrifice by efforts, and with the discernment, how far you want to go with those efforts, and at what point, and the recommendation is even to make some practice daily, where you don't wait too long for that self-sacrifice to kick in again, and you keep practicing more of the happiness and returning back to you, to experience more of that happiness, that you keep transforming that limited beliefs, of that stress and push and pressure that you're putting on yourself, that in order to be happy you get to keep self-sacrifice your power and yourself for others and your light, otherwise it won't be any happiness at all, and it will be very fleeting happiness. The more happiness you can experience when you allow more of that discernment, standing in your power, using your voice, shining your beautiful bright light to you as well, and enjoying that, and not just giving that away, and without enjoying that yourself. So what's the action I mentioned at the beginning about the paradox? I mentioned that there is a way of bringing more of that happiness when we taking the ownership, that it's our job to create that happiness, and we have that control. We don't have the control of how we make others feel, especially when we self-sacrifice and serving others from the fumes. They will notice that and will be even more demanding, and it will make them happy. It won't make you happy, it will be even more frustrating experience. So bringing more of that ownership, self-responsibility for your own happiness, keep tuning within, practicing more of that on a daily basis, start creating deeper awareness, and start creating more of that opening in your mind, in your body, in your heart, that it's okay to be happy no matter what is going on, and then you can experience more of that fulfillment for yourself and create more of that fulfillment for others, because you will be standing more in your truth and your wisdom and in your power, in your light, and shining that for others, than chasing after the others and hoping that that your actions will make them happy, and they may be making them happy at 1 minute and they not happy the other, and you start taking guilting yourself, you start taking that personally, that start possibly coming to those realizations, well, no matter what I do, they will never be happy. So take that into consideration, and instead of creating more guilt and frustration, raise to the occasion and start being in charge of your own happiness, and see what a real difference that will make for you, how fulfilling you will feel, and how bigger difference you can create for the others with you being happy before you make other people happy. And you will actually make other people even more happier because they start seeing in you the possibility of experience their own happiness, and things will work out. So with that, I also want to share a simple 3 steps thing, how you can. I was keep reiterating that it would be good for you to practice more of that own happiness. However, how it can start. How simple that practice can start with creating that awareness, creating the awareness every time you start observing yourself and your thoughts of when you up to something, taking some actions, and all of a sudden the thought shows up, if I take that action, it feels like it's a selfish act. And when you start realizing that your mind is trying to keep you safe, and taking that it will be selfish and stopping you in taking that actions towards your own happiness, create that awareness that it's happening. And at that moment, creating that awareness, acknowledge yourself, bring compassion and love to yourself, and grace, and at that point, make a determination what simple thing you can uh, do to you to create that happiness. It could be a minute, could be a 5 minutes, could be an hour. What will make you happy in the moment, so you feel in that ownership of the happiness, that it's your job to do, to make that happen. Maybe that's taking a few minutes for yourself and making yourself a cup of tea, or maybe coffee, maybe your favorite drink, maybe a favorite dessert, or maybe creating some quick creative meal that it will be enjoyable for you, or maybe taking some walk in nature, or maybe putting some music on, a happy music that create that happy moments for you, and maybe help you to move your body, and shifting that limitation, that it's selfish. So whatever that is for you, and you can start even putting a list of those things that you're willing to keep shifting from, when the thought is showing up, and that limited beliefs of, oh, it's selfish, to actually prove to yourself, to your mind, to your body, and to your heart, that it's not selfish, that it's okay to create your own happiness in the moments, on a daily basis, and keep keep creating that pattern and belief, inner belief, to transform that limited belief of that selfishness. And then I know that it's easier said than done. It takes practice to, when you for years been running on self-sacrifice and feeling that it's a selfish thing to experience your own happiness. It will take time and efforts, conscious efforts to transform those things, to create a new belief that you own your happiness, that you can create your own happiness in the moments and on a daily basis. And then the more you will experience that and creating and strengthening that belief, you will be less prone to keep coming back to that self-sacrifice, and feeling that if you not self-sacrifice, you will be feeling guilty that you are selfish. So there is that other reprogramming, and also I'm offering a suggestion to co-create together, because I know that leaving us to our own devices can create that wall, create that blindness, and it's so easy to live in that subconscious that is running our shows and our days and our lives. That coming to some conscious communities might be another solution, when we at least start consciously co-creating together more of our happiness together, where you start bringing that more to your own life and experience, and making that truer difference for yourself, and start realizing the more difference and the more you own your happiness, you can make that bigger difference for others, and be of truer service to others, and create that possibility as a visionary, especially women and leaders, heart-centered leaders, where your heart is happy people. You know that people will be attracted to you when you emanating joy, that inner joy, not just fakiness of that joy or happiness, but the real true. People can notice that they have the feelings, even though they might not always know what to do with them, but they can sense things when there is a fakiness, and where is that more of the true happiness and true joy that is experienced and is radiating out of you. And you can stand in your power, using your voice, using your happiness to be of that role model example, that there is a possibility for others to be happy as well, to keep breaking through those limitations that they put themselves for years, guilt tripping themselves that it's only that it's selfish, and it has to be only in a self-sacrifice to experience just even a little bit happiness that you don't deserve. You didn't earn the happiness until you self-sacrifice, and you can only experience just a little bit happiness and not a lot of that happiness. You can experience a lot of that happiness, because the more you experience, the more you reprogram yourself from that self-sacrifice and the limited beliefs that it's selfish, the more difference you actually can make for the others, and create more of that true legacy that you desire to have, and live your fulfilled and satisfying life. So without further ado, I trust that this is helpful. Please feel free to make the comments to see how that's landing, maybe even sharing what those happy moments you want to create, how you transforming in those 3 steps of acknowledging, creating awareness of that, where you sabotaging your own happiness, and feeling that it's selfish to do that, and how you taking actions to prove to yourself, to your mind, to your body, to your heart, that you can experience happiness. And the more you experience, the more you're creating for yourself and for others. And then joining the community, conscious communities like Awakened Woman, where you can experience more of that happiness and keep transforming that belief and creating a new one, that it's okay to experience and keep creating that happiness for you. And for further exploration, I'm inviting you to check the website awaken women.com, and you can also book some time where we can explore together on one-on-one if that co-creation is the possibility to create more of that happiness together as well. There's plenty of resources. There are some free resources, blog posts where you can learn more about the happiness from different angles of physical, mental, emotional will be next week, and then spiritual. I've been asked to make those different words, and even to the pattern of this year that's starting with H. Those words were harmony in January, humility in February, and March is about the happiness, and bringing that from those angles of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. So you can check on those blog posts. You can book a time together to explore the possibility of creating, co-creating our happiness together in a beautiful, conscious community where there's safe space for you to keep transforming the old beliefs and creating some new ones to make that real difference for you, make the real difference for others, and building that through legacy and satisfaction for yourself and others. So you can also subscribe to the channel to see where the new lives coming. I'm keep putting also more efforts to share some shorts from my Instagram channel, or just some videos in the shorts to bring that message from the blog posts, to share some potential quotes, to share some thoughts that might be lending to keep recreating and creating that opening for breaking through some old beliefs that no longer serving, and creating the new beliefs that are more satisfying for you. And it gets to be work not just in the mental capacity, but the body holds memory, the emotions possibly unprocessed gets to be processed, and you get to be more spiritually connected to be more ready for that transformation, and experience being more in that center of you, being operating from your own inner home more, to really experience more of that inner transformation, because it's not about how you manipulate or how you controlling your outside world, but how you tuning more into your inner world and bringing that to the outside world to make the difference for you and others. So without further ado, sending so much love, joy, peace, light, and compassion to you, and see you around. Take care.